Oh. Oh.
Everyone, welcome back to the Problematic Podcast. I'm your friendly co-host Rita, and this is my friendly co-host Whitney.
Hi.
How are you doing today, Whitney? Oh boy, it's getting real out here.
People gauge how terrible my week is by how much I laugh in the beginning.
I typically do. That is the absolute truth.
So it's a week.
That's how we're starting off today.
How are you?
You know, don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. I've been having some technical difficulties.
Poor thing.
But I'm here. My microphone is on. My mic sounds nice. Check one. And Whitney has her tea. I gotta tell y'all, we are going to start posting these videos on YouTube. But Whitney has the biggest, elaborate mug.
I love a big mug.
And she comes every week to this podcast with a big ass mug. And I always look forward to what she's putting her tea in. That's going to be like an aspect of our podcast.
It should be. I have like a really great mug collection, and I can just start showing them off. Like my favorite mug is this glass mug. I forget. It's a Black-owned company, but it's a see-through glass one, and it says pay Black women instead of using them for diversity and clout.
Where the hell did you get the? Yeah,
I got to find it. I got to find where
I need the link.
I got to put it. I got to put the link in.
Yes,
I love a good mug. But I have been potentially, I may be creating a merch line of mugs.
You should.
Because people said they need my tweets
on mugs.
Mug, and I'm like, that yeah.
Do it.
Because I'm always drinking tea or coffee or something like that. It doesn't matter the weather. I'm always going to drink a tea or a coffee. It's going to be hot, so we're going to use a mug. I even got Emmy a little mug. It's like a little small one. It's so cute. It's like a shot glass with a.
I really can't. I'm not prepared for it.
It says "Boss Baby" on the side. It's really cute.
Oh, because she runs your household. I've seen it.
We work here.
She is the manager.
She said, "I've seen that.
I've seen it.
She's like, I've witnessed it.
I've witnessed it with my own two eyes. That is the house manager.
How are you?
I'm good. I got no complaints. I'm ready to start the week off strong. I'm here. I'm relaxed. I am ready to pod.
Wait, too shiny.
Too shiny. Oh, wait. You know what?
God, you blinded me. Oh, my retinas.
Stop it. Cut it out. We're not doing this today. We're going to be responsible podders today.
Oh, yeah, we are on the podcast. There we go. Yeah.
Ma'am, what have you been listening to? Uh-oh.
I failed you again.
That's all right.
I just don't listen to enough music. I just don't.
It's quite all right. How about podcasts? What are you reading?
So
share with the people.
I've actually been indulging in a lot of unnecessary TikTok. And there's a specific account that I really, really love. And I forget her name, but her tagline is "Everyone's so creative." And
I know exactly who you're talking about. That's my auntie.
Yeah, I adore her so much. Oh, it's Tanara Double Chocolate. Tanara Double Chocolate, who currently has 3 million followers. Man,
she's
hilarious. Go on. But she is hilarious. And anytime I go into the kitchen to make anything, I say to myself, everybody's so
creative.
I'm pouring water in a glass. Everyone's so creative.
She does voiceovers of other people's awful cooking videos. If you haven't checked this content, it's like she takes the worst cooking videos and provides I would say necessary comedic relief, because what you're watching on the screen is a disaster.
Oh, absolutely.
She tries her best to keep the tone positive, and like she said, everyone's so creative.
That's how she starts the videos. Everybody's so creative.
And let me tell you something. The last thing most people want to eat is creative meatloaf or
I just watched the meatloaf one.
casserole. Nobody wants these things. And
the one where the lady fed the dog from her hand and then put it back. I said, oh my God, this is why I don't have an office. I haven't worked for a corporation in many years.
Flex on them.
Stop. But like, if I had my office party is my house.
It is. I've seen it.
My office party is my house. It would be my husband and my kid. But if I was to go to an office potluck, I would never eat a damn thing. Like,
you can't. No. It's dangerous.
I see.
It's dangerous.
She gave the dog a lick of her hands after having her hands in the food and then put her hands back in the food.
People show videos of their cats in their refrigerators and on their countertops. And I just go, you know what? I live in culturally, we got to respect everyone's cultures. Culturally, I just live a different existence and I got to let you people.
I'm going to be problematic on this one. This will be my problematic take. Get your nasty ass pets out the kitchen. Them kids too. I have a kid. I have a 2-year-old. She is constantly sticky. Get them out the kitchen when you're trying to make stuff. Sticky. It's something about tiny people. They're always sticky. All right. Quick story. We just got her a big thing of kinetic sand. And it's a lot of fun to play with. She loves it. We make little underwater scenes because it's blue. So it's like the ocean. And I just said it like she says, the ocean. Anyway, so we're playing with the ocean. And she hasn't eaten anything in hours. And I just look at my hands. My hands look like this, Her hands, it's just kinetic sand stuck. And I'm like, why are you always
sticky? Because little kid hands are always sticky.
Sticky.
Always sticky.
I promise y'all I'll bathe my child. I promise y'all I'll wash my child. I promise you.
It's not you, it's these kids. It's not you. Dear parents, we know it's not y'all. It's
water bill sky high.
Yeah.
Water bill high as giraffe ears.
We know it's not you. It's these damn kids. It's them making themselves dirty.
It's gotta be something nice like for being low.
I don't know what it is, but they're always sticky. I gave my little cousin Carter one time, I gave him cereal for breakfast. And I realized maybe about 2 hours later, like my pants were sticky, my arms were sticky, and the dog was sticky. And it was jelly on all of us, the couch, me, and the dog. But nobody, he never had jelly that morning. It's a family mystery. Like this mystery is like at this point, like 3 or 4 years old because Carter's like 6 or 7 now. But we were covered in jelly, and to this day, we still don't know where the jelly came from. Where the hell did you get jelly from? You're 3. How did you get access to jelly? We gave you cereal this morning. It's a mess. It's not the parents. Parents, it's not you. We know that these kids get into the craziest stuff. Jelly. But jelly. It bothered me. It's so much. And when I think about it, I can sit and stare at a wall for 3 hours just thinking about it because it's like, where the hell did you get jelly from?
That actually sounds like a hilarious TikTok of you staring at the wall doing the math.
I don't know where you got. I don't. Nobody knew. The poor dog was just like licking the jelly off of her.
Help me.
It's a mess. But I don't know about you. I haven't spent much time on TikTok, but I have been listening to a lot of music. And
is it that Wayne man?
No, it's not the Wayne man this time. Okay. These two may be a little bit more palatable to your ears. Okay. I've been listening to the Beyonce Cuff It Wetter remix. Shout out to the DJs and the creatives because what I've been noticing is these remixes come from the fans first.
Yep.
And it's clear that someone took the Beyonce vocals for Cuff It and overlaid them with the wetter. What is that? Twister? Was it Twister who sang wetter? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter because for Gen Z, you guys are probably too young to actually know how legendary that song was when it originally came out. But somebody on the TikTok or the Twitters or the Instagrams, the Snapper chatters, whatever the kids are using these
wherever days, you are on the internet playing on your phone,
blended these two, and then we got an official Beyonce Wetter remix, and I could literally listen to it on replay. You know how people do the little dance, the undulating dance with the broom in their living room? That's me. I think that I'm
you
Sierra.
Body rolling with your broom?
Yeah, I'm body rolling with my broom when I listen to that song because it makes me feel very sexy, and I'm allowed to feel sexy.
You are
at this great big age. So I have been listening to that on repeat, and I picked my anthem for the year. Are you ready?
Yes.
For the entire year, for all of 2023. My anthem is going to be Janelle Monae's Flute. I love that song. It's positive, it's uplifting. She's talking her shit. She's like, I got a girlfriend in the hills, I got a boyfriend in Atlanta. I pay for them both because I can do this shit. I love it. I said, talk your shit, Miss Monae. You know, my wife and I have this agreement, and the agreement is if we're going to have a sister wife or a third, and our wife, it's going to be Janelle Monae.
That's only fair.
We've come to that conclusion as a unit. We are Janelle Monae fans in this house. So I have been listening to Cuff It, the Wetter remix, and Janelle Monae's Flute. And I think both of them are going to get me through the week. If you haven't heard either of these songs, I don't know what you're going through.
Cue it up.
Get outside. As the kids say, touch some grass, even though pollen has already...
Oh, because we haven't had enough
you in the back of the face already? Like it's kicking me in the back of the face already?
We went outside to get the mail. Both my child and I came back in.
Yes, sniffles.
Her daddy, he saw us both come in and sniff it. He said, oh, Lord, it's allergies.
It is. It is already. February didn't get good and gone yet. Sis was still saying her goodbyes to everybody in the living room. And the allergy season, March said, hold on, wait a minute. I got something for y'all. I come bearing gifts. If you don't have your Claritin, your Zyrtec, and your Benadryl ready, you're already late. You're already late. Behind. Your kid's face is about to fall off.
I got to find something for the tiny person.
Yeah, good. Please not Benadryl. I've seen Benadryl put.
I can't do that to her. That's not nice. She already sleeps well. She'll be like Lazarus. It'll be 3 damn days before I see my child. I can't do that to her.
Benadryl and their motto of if you're dead, you can't sneeze is actually highly effective. It's very good. If you sleep for the next 6 days, you won't know that your nose is running.
Your eyes won't be watery at all because they'll be closed.
They have cornered the market when it comes to using comas as a remedy to sneezing. And shout out to Benadryl because, yeah, I'm already on my Zyrtec for the season. But yeah,
this is outrageous. This is what.
Go ahead. Go
nature gripe. There is a reason why there are male and female trees. And we have is a bunch of male trees up here. And because, all right, I don't know if you noticed, in other places in the world, they have something called fruit trees.
Yes, they do.
They don't just exist on orchards, like up here. They don't just exist in farms. There are fruit trees. And the reason why we have this proliferation of pollen is because of the capitalistic foolishness that will not allow free food anywhere.
She's shaking her fist.
I'm furious. I hate capitalism, but I participate.
You do. We all do. It's not just you.
I participate in capitalism. I hate capitalism. But if we had more fruit trees, we wouldn't have such bad allergies, and we'd have delicious fruit salad.
And we'd have free mangoes like my Jamaican brethren and sistren.
Could you imagine?
Get to just have mangoes.
Imagine you're running your errands and you got a little hungry. You just go up to a tree and just.
I mentioned the tweet before on this podcast, and it was from a gentleman who said, I'm not arguing with anybody who has to pay for mangoes, because where this young man is from, the mangoes just grow abundantly everywhere. And
see,
dear God, why did you not put me in that number of all
he did. We were stolen.
Yeah, we were stolen.
You did. That's where we're from.
On second thought, I'll save my gripe. But yes, allergy season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add allergy season to my list of problematic people.
Out here beating the brakes out, beating the brakes off of everybody.
Okay, punch me clean in the back of my face.
All you did was step outside.
punched in the back of my face by allergies and pollen. I deserve better than this.
Just disrespectful. Maybe that's why my eyes keep watering.
I hear you have a story about the time you tried to give your husband flowers. This is a perfect segue. Whitney's husband is the problematic person of the week, guys. He is the problematic person of the week.
He is a wonderful, adoring, loving, kind person. This is a segment I would like to call, this wasn't a great look for us. So I had it last week. Remember I said this wasn't a great look for me? Yes. This was not a great look for us.
Heavy
so I kept so in my mushiness, for those who are unfamiliar with who I am a walking marshmallow. I'm very, very sensitive, very, very emotionally in tuned. I'm the person that you call when you need to have someone to cry with, because they will sit and cry with you. I'm that person.
She's not kidding.
I'm not joking. I'm not even ashamed anymore. This is who I am at 38 years old. I'm fine. So I saw these beautiful videos. It was like Jonathan Majors, just being Jonathan Majors. Like, I'm a Jonathan Majors stan. We've already figured this out. And I don't care that he's dating a white woman. I don't.
Jonathan Majors is dating a white woman?
Speculation. The reason why I don't care is none of my business.
You're right.
It's none of my business who you date. I am not against interracial dating. I'm not against that. What I'm against is when you bring me into it and talk bad about Black women as the reason why you date white women.
I got a problem with that.
I've never had to justify my love for pepperoni pizza by bashing plain cheese. That's all I have to say.
That's a good point. Look at you being all non-problematic and saying that way better than I would have. Go ahead, girl.
This week. Wait, I'm about to disappoint you.
It's coming.
It's coming. And then there's this great video of these Black men. This producer created this great video of these Black men, and she's literally just surprising them with flowers. And when I tell you, like, their jaws are dropped and their faces light up, and it's just like the most heartwarming thing. And, you know, I read some time ago that the first time a lot of Black men receive flowers is at their funerals. And I'm like, not in my African-American home. I'm going to honor my husband and show him and give him his flowers. So I sat here and I went on Instacart because I wasn't leaving the house because of allergies. And I was working. Yeah, I was working, but also allergies. I was like, I'm going to get him 2 dozen roses, one for me and one for Emmy. And we're going to bring them up to him and we're going to give him flowers. And they were beautiful and they arrived so fast. And shout out to my Instacarter, who was a dude who has done, when I tell you he has grocery shopped better than a lot of the women who have sent their groceries here. This man, he's a professional and he's done this twice.
Because male Instacart shoppers get a bad rap. It's like they're produce picking abilities. I'm not trying to gender the subject. This is just what I see
every single week.
I do. I'd be like, I don't hate men, and then get right to the man hating.
Right.
But to be fair, this isn't my gripe. I've only used Instacart like a handful of times, and most of my people have been women. But I hear that men don't do. When people see that their Instacart shopper is a man, they get disappointed and be like, you about to fuck this up. So shout out to this guy.
Last week I had 2 guys, and they were impeccable. They picked out like the best strawberries. They picked out just the right fruit that wasn't quite ripe, but you only had to wait like a day or so.
Perfect.
That's what you want. You don't want like overripe fruit, because then like you got to eat it right now. Otherwise, tomorrow you're going to wake up and it's going to be a moldy mess. And you don't want the hard fruit that's going to take 8 months. You're going to forget about it and then you're going to look at it like, oh crap, and now it's an old moldy mess. So I had a good Instacart shopper, and the proof was in the pudding, because he picked out the roses that had not bloomed yet, but were just
I love when the roses open up when you put them in water.
Oh my God. We're big fans of flowers.
We are fans.
So I happened to take Emery down with me to go get it, so to give her daddy a break. Because if she sees me put on my shoes, that means that she has to put on her shoes. Like, your shoes, my shoes.
We outside.
Only me though. With her daddy, she just shuts the door behind him. Bye bye, daddy. I love you. Bye.
It's been
real.
Right.
It's been real, girl. Sir. All right. So we come back up, we wash our hands, and I take this video, and I was like, okay, let's see how he reacts to this.
Uh-oh. We didn't see the video, so I'm guessing it didn't go well.
I have not sent out this video, and I didn't take it for content purposes. And there's a reason why I fucking said that. So I bring him the 2 dozen. And
2 dozen. Oh, she went hard for her man.
When I tell you the secret, let me help you out, gentlemen. Let me help you out. The secret is you get grocery store flowers.
They are cheaper, they bloom better, they last longer. It is an absolute fact. Go to your market.
$25 for 2 dozen roses. 2.
Gentlemen, you're out of excuses.
Also, when you give her the flowers, don't give them to her without prepping them. There is a gentleman on TikTok. See, it's a wealth of information. And he literally said, because he was buying flowers for his lady, and he said, you don't give them to her uncut and unprepared. You're essentially just giving her work. And so he took the time and prepped the flowers, cut all the stems diagonally, so the water...
cut them diagonally, gentlemen, so the water, it keeps the flowers fresher and helps them open up.
It helps them open up. And he put it in a vase and he made it look all beautiful. And so I wasn't giving him work. I was just showing him that we got the flowers because I was getting ready to do the work, because he doesn't know what the hell to do. This is the same person who, when we were dating, he left me a bouquet of daisies, very, very pretty, very, very pretty daisies. But he left them on my bed for 3 hours. And by the time I came back, just dead. It was just dead daisies. And I'm like, I can't save these. I appreciate the gesture, but it's a plant. You got to put it in water. I thought I had more time. Plants don't work like that. Like, if I take you out of air for 3 hours, you think you're going to have more time?
I thought I had more time.
Anyway, hand him the flowers. I expect a thank you, and that's all I wanted was a thank you. He looked at the flowers. Well, you didn't have to get 2 dozen.
No, you know what? Throw the whole man away. Get rid of him. I'm tired.
My poor little feelings.
Oh no!
I was so sad. I was like, I don't know what I expect. All right, maybe I set myself up for failure, because I saw all these Black men receiving flowers, and I've seen a lot of videos previously where Black men received flowers and like they got emotional, or I didn't expect him like to cry or anything, but like,
I thank you.
Thank you. I'm like, I'm not telling you what to do with these. I'm going to prep them for you. I was just want to show you that I got you flowers, like, just as a loving thing to do. Well, you didn't have to get 2. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna send you the video so you can see. And then I said, when people usually give gifts, they say, and he goes, thank you. Oh, I said, you know what? Forget this. Turned into a massive fight. So this was at like
over there moving furniture and rumbling. Now we fighting.
It was the Sharks versus the Jets. That is a West Side Story reference. If folks didn't pick that up, it was the Crips and the Bloods over here. When I tell you we were throwing gang signs, it was bad. So after the baby went to sleep, because we weren't going to fight in front of her, because we while we want to model proper disagreement, we don't want to model when we're highly emotional.
Exactly.
We don't want to model that in front of her. We're trying. We're doing our best. So she goes to bed, and the bell goes ding fucking ding. I come in. What? Listen, the controllers were out, girl. Someone put the quarter in the machine, and we were ready to go. Mortal Kombat. And I'm letting him know. And I'm not even, there's no like name calling or anything like that. I was just letting him know, like, my feelings were hurt. You hurt my feelings. Like, I just wanted to do this nice thing for you. And this is what happened. And he explained why it like didn't make any sense to him. He's like, I didn't expect it. I was kind of taken aback and I'm not really sure what to do. And then I saw you taking a video. So I figured it was just for content. And
oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Marita, I cried.
You
like
know what?
Big fat tears.
Just
big ones.
Just know
pouring out of my face. And I'm like, listen, I create content for a lot of shit. My kind gestures for you are seriously just out of love. And that comment really hurt me. Like, it legitimately hurt me. And so now it goes from being like semi-funny to not.
It's not.
Not funny at all. And I'm like, you know what? You ain't getting shit else from me. I said, I gave you a daughter. That is enough.
You get nothing else.
I'm going back to it.
Wait, don't we have a birthday this week? Is it his birthday
next month? Next month.
Okay.
Next month. And guess what? Ain't shit else. Not a damn thing. You don't even not a happy birthday out of me. I'll tell his daughter, I was like, go say happy birthday to your father.
Yeah, gifts are done in this relationship. We're gonna be 103 talking about I ain't got a gift since 2023.
And I'm gonna be like, and why?
And why, girl? Tell him why.
So yeah, ladies, if you're thinking of doing the thing where you buy your black man a flower, like prepare him on the front end so you don't run into the problems on the back end. And this has been another edition of This Wasn't a Good Look for Us.
And this is why I say all the time, do men really enjoy nice things? Do they really deserve nice things?
So, and when I tell you, these little bastards have the audacity to open up so beautifully. So they're just sitting on our table looking beautiful, stunning. I took a picture the other day.
They're very pretty flowers. They're very pretty flowers.
Ma'am, look at that.
Gorgeous flowers. They
stunning pink
nice
flowers
for some of these men.
And now it's opened up where like it looks like a little bulb, you know? Mm-hmm. And then like because I secretly love flower design. Don't tell anybody, that's like a secret thing. I actually want to go to some classes. Oh wait, hold on, shit. We forgot we were podcasting. But I did this thing with the stems where I did them like all diagonally, so it looks like it comes in and then goes out. I love flower design. I don't know where it came from, but I loved flower design. I think it started when I started buying bouquets like after the divorce. And I started buying my myself bouquets every week or every 2 weeks, just to have fresh flowers in the house for myself. Long and the short, I learned a little bit about flower arranging, just a little bit.
So I'm going to tell a quick flower story, just real quick.
Is it about your gold dip roses?
No, it isn't.
Cutie pies.
It isn't. But I should probably end this story with that story so that I don't sound like a complete asshole. So, my wife spent the first probably year and a half of our relationship getting me flowers almost every week. She would bring them, cut them, put them in a vase, and very beautiful. And of course, I would occasionally get her flowers. And one day I mentioned that I don't really care for flowers. They're not really my thing. And I ain't got none since. And she just stopped buying me flowers. And I was like, why did you stop buying me flowers? And she was like, you don't like them. I don't necessarily like them as a gift, but I realized after a year and a half of receiving flowers that I really, really enjoy having fresh flowers in the house. Because like you said, they open up, they look beautiful. She ain't got me flowers since. Now she does every Valentine's Day. She gets me a gold dipped rose, and I'm collecting my gold dipped roses, and they have their own little vase and they're beautiful. But yeah, no, my wife stopped getting me flowers because I said I don't really like flowers. And that was when I realized I do like flowers, and now I don't get flowers. So, you know.
You also probably love the sentiment, the idea that someone was bringing you something every week.
I also feel bad, like, you know, they open up, they bloom, and then they start to wilt and die. And I
hate
feel like
that
it's my fault. So
they're already dead.
And then
it's just beautiful dead bodies.
Beautiful dead bodies.
That's all they are.
That might be an episode title.
Don't do that. People are going to think it's something else.
They're
going to hear the start of my rose story and think that I murdered my poor husband.
Well, I mean, if you did, I think half of the viewers, half of the listeners would understand.
No, it's not appropriate behavior to murder.
I still think he's one of the problematic people.
When I tell you, holleration. And holleration in my dancery. I know she said dance soiree, but we say dancery in this house. As for me and my African American home, it's dancery.
That's funny. Hateration and holleration. You poor things. You poor things. Before we get into these hilarious ass responses,
oh God,
yeah. This week's I swear this all ties in beautifully together with this week's problematic question and letters. But I gotta get into the problematic people besides Earl, before we get into our letters.
Sorry.
So this week's problematic person. So let me give the backstory, and I may have said this on this podcast once or twice, but Chaka Khan is my absolute favorite living singer. Hard stop. I find a way to listen to Chaka Khan almost every day of my life. I think she's a brilliant
I don't see a problem with that.
I love the stuff she did with Rufus. I love her single stuff. I mean, it's just wonderful. I love Chaka Khan. Now, there have been some videos of her not performing well and some speculation that she may have been dealing with some substance abuse issues. I'm not going into all of that. I still love Chaka Khan. I mean, that's what she does in her personal life. None of my business. She's given us great art. So, of course, when I saw people tweeting about Chaka Khan and calling her mean and rude and ignorant, my ears perked up because I'm like, what y'all not going to do is slander Chaka Khan. But what I quickly found out is that Chaka Khan was slandering others. And I was like, oh, yes, I'm here for her, auntie. What do you have to say? And of course, a culprit, the public enemy number one of the Problematic Podcast has always been, since its very inception, these damn Rolling Stone greatest lists.
They are the epitome. They're why we founded this daggone podcast. They are essentially they are the problematic person of the podcast.
So of course they released another list of 200 greatest singers.
Damn it. Leave it alone.
And somebody put a microphone in front of Chaka Khan's face and said, Chaka, here's the list. Here's where you are on the list. And one of the things that she immediately noticed was that Mary J. Blige found herself ahead of Chaka Khan on this greatest singers list. Now, let me first, before I get into why Chaka is my problematic person of the week, let me start by saying whoever puts these lists together, I know that their sole purpose is, one, to pave their way to hell, but two, to infuriate me. That's just off the bat. Placing Mary J. Blige's catalog and her work and her vocal abilities above Chaka Khan's.
Chaka the Khan.
Chaka the Khan. Chaka the Khan. Is sheer ignorance and trolling, and I hate whoever is responsible for it. Now, I'm going to flash forward to Chaka Khan's comments, and Chaka Khan pretty much goes off and says, hey, this is some bullshit. Y'all know that. But also, she went off on Mary J. Blige's cover of Sweet Thing. And the person asking her the question said, Chaka, I hear you had some very harsh words from Mary J. Blige on her cover of Sweet Thing, which is one of your biggest hits. And she said, yeah, I had a lot of words for Mary J. Blige. But the thing about my words for Mary J. Blige was I called Mary and told her herself, that was some bullshit you did with my song. And Chaka Khan said, I asked her, when did you record that song? Like, what time of the day did you record that song? And she said that Mary told her, I was up late. I had to record at like 8 a.m. And Chaka, being the vocalist she said, you don't record no shit at 8 a.m. And then she went and said, I don't know if she was up smoking crack all night or what. And I was like, ooh, Chaka, no, that
Chaka,
ain't
not, no, you're opening, oh, no.
We don't do that. No. But she said she could have been up smoking crack all night, but every real vocalist knows you don't get up in the morning and sing. You just don't do that. You got to let your vocals warm up. But she was like, listen, no harm, no foul, because I told Mary J. Blige this herself, because we have that kind of relationship where we can talk like that.
Well, you shouldn't share that. That was not for the internet, man.
Yeah, it wasn't. And that is why my fave is now the problematic person of the week, because baby, auntie, Mrs. Khan, if I may call you Mrs. Khan, the crack mentioned was a little shady, and you know it was. And that there have been speculations about substance abuse with Chaka Khan as well, and her checking herself into rehab after Prince passed, because you know those two were very close, or maybe you don't, but you should. So I was like, ooh, ouch, that was a little harsh. And then she went on to say they placed, I think Mariah Carey was number 5 on the list. And I'm actually okay with Mariah Carey being in the top 10 on the list. Not current Mariah Carey, but like 91, 92 Mariah Carey with the 8-octave vocal range. That's, I mean, the talent was there. She shared that talent with us. She might not still have it, but
she did.
But she did, and I can see how she can land on that list. And she said, "Oh, that must be some payola shit." I said, "Now, Shaka, come on, girl, ma'am, madam, Shaka Khan. Pearls clutched, not some payola shit." We all knew what Mariah was doing in 91, 92. That girl could out sing Heaven's Angels if you gave her the opportunity.
Only one person could out sing her.
And that was Whitney, and we all know
Nippy.
Mm-hmm. Nippy. Whitney Elizabeth Nippy Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, only one. Shaka Khan, Madam Shaka Khan, respectfully, that was unnecessary. You were very problematic for that. Like, you didn't have to do that. That hurt. That was mean. No. I don't know why she did it that way, but I
the self-awareness, like
okay, it hurt me a little bit, but so she's my problematic person of the week, and I just had to. Whitney.
Yes.
Who's your problematic person of the week?
Well, this song goes out to one Barrington Martin II, known on Twitter as _Barrington II.
Oh, she gave the handle too.
Barrington decided to hop his happy ass on the internet and decided to tweet the following. and it reads, "We hear about the horrors of slavery, automatically assuming the slave owners were hateful, vengeful, and sought to inflict their slaves with fear. But it's funny, we never hear about those other slave owners who led with kindness and wanted their slaves to be in the best shape mentally as well as physically. Why do you think that is?"
Oh, Barrington.
Well, first thing, Barrington, like I said, he hopped his happy ass and he got embarrassed, dragged across the internet. I don't know how swiftly. And then I found out, because I thought he might have been one of those weirdos that paid to tweet. The kind that they really want that blue check mark.
Yes.
That only says that you pay to tweet. Like there's no real special reason anyone else should follow you. But he's actually a legacy.
Oh God, he been here.
So he
knew better.
Oh, like I wanted to make fun of you for paying for tweeting, but I can't do that. So Barry here decided that he was going to tweet these things. And I'm like, I tweeted the following. I said, imagine saying this about modern day human traffickers.
Imagine.
Plug that same language in. What about the human traffickers that were kind and wanted the people who they were trafficking to be mentally and physically well? You are kidnapping people
and enslaving them,
selling their children from their arms.
I don't care how healthy I am. If I'm here against my will, I don't want to be here.
The average lifespan of a person who was working on a sugarcane plantation was 7 years.
Wow.
7 years from the time you started to the time you dropped dead. And what they kept doing was basically replacing these workers like they were replaced batteries. They would just keep shipping them over. Do you know, I learned this week, the amount of enslaved people who were actually bought here to the United States is only something like 300 to 400,000 of the 10 million that were brought and survived the journey, because millions did not survive the journey. Millions.
Millions.
So where did everybody else go? They were all going to like South America.
Brazil was a huge. Brazil received more, and please fact check this, but I think I saw statistics saying Brazil received more human cargo than any other country in the Americas.
4.5 million people.
Yeah.
4.5 million of them. So, and that's according to Henry Louis Gates, who I'm still mad at. You gotta listen to last week's episode if you want to know why I'm mad at Henry Louis Gates, who I sincerely admire and would love to interview one day and would love to sit
and you will
and learn from.
We've already put it in the atmosphere. It's out there.
From your lips to God's ears. Let's see, because
it's happening.
The girl didn't expect to be interviewing the people she's interviewing, so we'll see. I'll be sweating. Oh, I see it now. But anyway, I adore this man. I'm just mad at him for this one episode. I hope there's some outtakes that I could see and that would just ease my heart. Anyway, you gotta listen to last week's episode to know why. But Barrington, back to Barrington. Someone found an old picture of 5 individuals during Halloween. It was Shaggy, Daphne, Velma, and Fred, right? All white people, everybody dressed up like, the Scooby-Doo folks, right? And then kneeling on the ground with a random spot on his chest, his bare chest, and a dog collar was Barrington. And someone said, "This you?"
That's him. That's him dressed as the white folks' dogs. That's him on the floor kneeling in front of 4 white Americans in costume. Barrington did that. That was him.
The jokes write themselves. The jokes write themselves. I was like, I don't have to say anything at this point. Like you've proven who you are. The kind slave owners, and then
it's like saying the kind serial killers.
What about the kind serial killers who used chemicals to put their people to sleep before dismembering them? Fuck out of here. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all would do anything to try to play to the necessary the need for goodness in white folks. Like
what is the purpose?
What is the purpose?
What is wrong with you Negroes?
Negroes. George Washington had a mouthful of black folks' teeth.
Other people, like, you got to break down that
Sally fucking Hemings.
Not only did he have other people's teeth in his mouth, scary, frightening, black people's enslaved teeth in his mouth. The nastiness of it.
They weren't given voluntarily either. That means they snatched somebody and literally took pliers and yanked the teeth from their screaming jaws
to put in somebody else's nasty ass mouth.
Sally Hemings is sitting right there, y'all. We saw that picture of that black man with all the marks on his back. There's stories of white women slave owners literally blinding their enslaved, their human trafficked other women, because they feared that their husband would fall in love with these women because of the color of their eyes, or disfiguring them in some other way to keep their husband away. It didn't, by the way, but
we got Barrington's dumb black ass online throwing on a cape in Doberman spots for Twitter. Scooby was a Great Dane. He was a
Great Dane. Okay,
Scoobert Dubert, which is his real name. Scoobert Dubert. Scoobert Dubert was a Great Dane. That was his real name, Scoobert Dubert. I said that is information I can't believe I lived this long without.
That is adorable. But yes, he hopped his happy ass on the internet and got promptly embarrassed, and I had to take a screenshot because I'm like, this might get deleted. So just in case, for posterity's sake, let me just take this.
No, leave it up there. Leave it up there, Barrington.
These people, you have existed on the internet for how long?
You're right. You
know these folks.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, no, Barrington, you've earned this title. That was a jackass thing to do. I don't even
in the year of our Lord 2023, with Frederick Douglass sitting right there. Sojourner Truth right there.
What about the good human traffickers?
And then someone came into my comments and said, well, black folks own slaves. I said, ask better questions. Let's take a journey. Come on, let's take a journey. You're almost there. You're right. No. There were some black folks who did own slaves. There were. Okay, let's walk together, children. Don't you get weary.
Don't you get weary. Good night.
Sorry. Good night. I'm sorry. But let's take a journey. Why do you think that is? So yes, there is a portion that just wanted to keep up with the Joneses being the original human enslavers. But then there was a large population of black people who did own slaves. Let's look at the relationships between them and those slaves that they owned. Were they potentially buying back their family, you dumb crazy people who don't ask better questions.
They don't ask better questions. You're speaking above their intelligence level. Their intellect has not gotten there. It will never get there. It doesn't happen.
Were husbands buying their wives' freedom? Were parents buying their children's freedom?
And the fact that you have to acquire your children's freedom.
Hello. Oh, thank you. Weirdos.
Really. People online are so stupid. I saw a thing, and we're not going to get into the educational piece of this because we're going to
continue to be problematic.
We are, but there was a tweet or a Facebook post that said, when we were in school, there were slower classes, there were mid-range classes for the normal students, and there were gifted classes for the gifted, intelligent students.
I saw this post too.
And the problem with the internet is we all on there together because we haven't segregated out the people who aren't smart enough to use the damn internet without a chaperone. And I totally subscribe to this notion because it's absolutely true. I've been exposed to more ignorance and dumb shit from the internet than I will ever encounter outside of the internet. And that's where the ignorant people actually live.
Someone told me, came into my comments and said, Africa doesn't have a lot of history. I said, that's really interesting because the majority of the museums around the world are filled with their artifacts. So if they don't have any history, what's that?
The only history that y'all are... Don't get me started.
I turned into Angela Davis.
Don't listen. I'm going to share this one fascinating fact that really stuck with me, and then I'm getting back to being problematic. I took a trip to Egypt.
You sure did.
I took a trip to Egypt, and while in Cairo, this was unique. Egypt in Cairo. Cairo is the only place where I've ever been to a museum, and all of the artifacts were from the place where I was standing currently. Wow. Meaning, the Cairo Museum of Egyptian History is literally the largest museum I've ever been in, and it's literally just filled with things from Egyptian history. I go to any museum in America, I go to any museum in Europe, and it's filled with artifacts from all over the world. Things that have been stolen from the Asian continent, things that have been stolen from the African continent. How is it that I'm in Africa and I'm in a museum and it's the only place where all of the things were from the continent of Africa? You can't do that anywhere else on the planet, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. But, that's just my side bit about people who talk a whole lot of shit but don't ever go nowhere, travel any place, and say they can't afford a passport.
Past the Walmart on the outside of their town.
Okay, but got a bunch of guns and a whole lot of shit to say on the internet. But I'll leave that there. I think the gun people spend all their money on guns, and that's why they don't get to leave their home state of Idaho.
Y'all got to work on that.
Be better.
The world is such a beautiful place.
It is, and you should see it with your own eyes.
Learn some stuff. Eat some food that's not fried. Seriously, eat some
try
food.
it.
Try something grilled. Try it.
You absolutely deserve
100%.
We are going to switch from the serious stuff to the funny stuff. We're back at it. So, I've been doing this thing where I post a question every week just to get some responses. And this week's Daily Talk was, what is the worst gift you've ever received? And let me tell you something.
Was it spicy?
You people did not disappoint.
I need to hear this.
Never do. So we're going to go with our first. We've got two today. These are pretty short, but we're going to get right into them. Whitney, would you like to give this lovely young lady a name?
Regine.
All right. Regine wrote, when I was about 6 months pregnant with my second child, I asked my husband for a push gift. We were young when we had our first child, and I didn't get a push gift, a baby moon, a gender reveal, etc. After arguing with me for an hour that push gifts were not a real thing, then arguing about how much should be spent on the push gift, I asked him for something very simple, no more than $500.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my delivery was rough, and when we got home from the hospital, my husband had our gifts bagged up and waiting when I got home. Tell me why this man bought us a pair of matching Jordans. I don't like Jordans, and I haven't owned a pair since I was a kid. Since he wanted them for himself, he got me a pair to match his pair. I think I cried for 2 whole ass days about them ugly ass shoes.
No, not 2 days.
Black people use measurements. For everything.
You need to understand. You got to understand. It's been half a week. 7 whole days.
Cried for 2 whole ass days about them ugly ass shoes.
Ugly.
This isn't funny, but it is funny. Whitney, let's get your take.
All right. As a person who I constantly say I was unzipped like a purse.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Bringing a person into the world that has literally been created and survived because of you, and all the health challenges and mental challenges and emotional challenges that face. Just give the women what they want. Just give the birthing person what they want. Please. Just give them what they want. $500 is a lot to work with. That is a lot of money to work with. And there's this thing called observation. Observe what she likes. Pay attention to what she wants. And then put those things together and say, you know what? She was looking at that Telfar. I'm gonna get her a few of them. I'm
gonna go order her some bags.
And then I'm gonna put some flowers around it, make it like a little thing, make it look like something. Because also, side note, mom thing. The big Telfar, not the really, really big one, the second size, is a perfect everyday bag. Especially if you're traveling around with the baby and stuff like that, you just throw it in the Telfar. If you don't want a baby bag, I don't know.
Shout out to Telfar.
I enjoy it. I have 2. I'm debating a third one, and it's not for me. Y'all know who it's for. Because I spoil the heck. Those straps are too big for her. I'm gonna have to knot them.
It's fine. She deserves.
The point. Thank you. I think so too. Her father seems to think that I'm being outrageous, but I don't care, and it's gonna be cute. Anyway, that being said, can we back up a little bit?
Let's back up.
None of these things are essentials for giving birth. So she said, what? A baby moon, a push present, what else?
A gender reveal.
A gender reveal. All right. Outside, no, none of these things are essential, hun.
They're not. But
none of those. The gender reveal is the thing that I hate the most.
I hate gender reveals, and I'm not going to get into my politics.
We just were serious. We were just really, really serious. Yeah. So I won't do it either. But I hate gender reveals the most. Most also because, sometimes y'all just be destroying the entire environment because y'all want cannons to the left and cannons to the right. Fireworks. Y'all, there was this whole situation about this town that their water supply was literally poisoned because these people died the water somehow.
We discussed the gender reveal that involved the alligators. None of this shit is necessary.
Too much
all for that baby to grow up and decide it want to be a different gender. Y'all can knock it off. The baby will tell y'all what gender it wants to be. Don't worry, it'll have a reveal.
A baby moon is not a thing. It's cute for the internet and for people who can afford it, but it's not a thing, and we need to stop making that a thing. We had a gender reveal only because I was forced to, and it was literally me taking an outfit out of a box on Zoom because we were in the middle of a pandemic.
And allowing people to know what to get your kid. I get
essentially,
that notion.
Essentially, but I don't like focusing on my kid's genitalia. It's just a thing.
It's a little weird. It's
a strange thing that the straights do a lot. The baby moon is not a thing. What was the other one? Baby moon, gender reveal.
It was push gift, baby moon, and gender reveal.
The push gift is a new concept. That is a brand new thing.
Wait. Let me explain. For those who don't know what a push gift is, a push gift is specifically a gift that you give to the mother of the child for pushing and delivering a baby. It's the thank you for bringing this child into the world. All by yourself, because I could not help with that process.
I cannot help you. I bring you ice chips. I rub your head.
Here's your gift. as a thank you, that's a push gift.
Yeah.
It's and like you said, it is a fairly new concept.
It's very new. And I'm currently talking on my push gift, but my push gift also had to do with the business that I have.
Right.
And my other laptop, God bless it, she's sitting over there just looking at us. But they tend to, the older they get, the slower they get. It's like old people. So it's fine. So I'm not I get disgusted a little bit with how we commercialize the birth experience.
Same.
And I think we need to reevaluate this. That being said, I 100% believe in push gifts.
2,000%.
I 100% believe in push gifts. I also, because gifts is like my love language. Oh. I'm doing the.
She's doing quote fingers, guys.
Yeah. Quality time and gifts. And gifts could be anything. Like a handwritten letter will bring me to tears every single time.
I still write handwritten letters. I'm corny.
No. Oh.
People love them though.
Another problematic person. But remind me, corny, later.
Okay.
Corny later. Corny later. Remind me. Because I'll forget. I'm an elderly woman. I'm a house cat, I told you. But I believe that people should, when it comes to gifts, it's all about the sentiment. It's all about the thing behind it. So he got you Jordans because he wanted Jordans, and that was really obvious. And instead of taking you seriously, and instead of considering Regine's feelings and like what her body endured, what her mind endured, what her emotions endured, he didn't take that opportunity. It was a golden opportunity to solidify and bond. And he ruined it. So I see why she cried over them ugly ass shoes. I see why, Regine. You
imagine you had a difficult delivery. You spend days in the hospital. You come home, and the gift that you get is sneakers that you find to be ugly and never asked for. I would cry for 2 whole ass days too. Yeah, a pair for him and a pair for you. Matching Jordans.
Nope.
Congratulations on being unzipped like a pocketbook.
See, look.
Yeah, no, that was a fucking fail, my guy.
No. Like, and he needs to take this lump on the chin. Yeah. But also, I want Regine to reconsider. Like she feels like she was robbed of the baby moon and the gender reveal, and I'm like, you didn't need all those. Are opportunities for like additional gifts,
right?
Was not essential. Like the push gift. Fine. Focus on that. Let that be the big thing that happens. But don't let social media tell you how to start your family.
and I feel like a lot of people are doing that. And I can get, if you're younger, and she did say like they were, when they had their first kid, they could be in a better place financially. And just emotionally overall, just more mature. So I kind of get seeing these new trends come into play and then be like, damn, I didn't get to do that for my first kid, but we have another opportunity to do those things. But also, like, do you actually care about that stuff, or are you doing it because the other people are doing it?
Exactly.
Because like, is your kid still here and growing and being loved, and your happy 2-parent household with your idiot fucking husband who buys you stupid sneakers but at least cares? Maybe a little bit.
As a straight, I promise you that there's a reason why God created women, and I find justification in the Bible.
Because what my theory is.
He looked down there and he said, "Ooh, that don't look good.
I made a man. Good that
Adam is alone."
He looked. I really feel like God made a man, and he looked at it and said, "I can do better." Because if God was satisfied with the first man he made, he could have just made another man for Adam. But I really feel like he watched him walk around this garden and bump his head and do weird man shit. Buy 2 pair of Jordans and not wash or change his pillowcase.
Scowl at random flowers.
It was like, you know what? I have an opportunity to upgrade just a little bit. And then he made women.
She is quite literally the pinnacle of creation. She's the only thing that was created from something else that was alive. Everything else was created either by God's word or God's hand.
Right.
But she literally took something from Adam and made something from something else. God took something from Adam and literally made something else.
And there's my lovely co-host loves to say men were made from dirt and women were made from ribs, and we all like ribs a whole lot better than we like dirt.
They're delicious. They're delicious. I know Peter's getting ready to
just jump all
out
over our case, and
what else you got?
I'm back to man bashing, and I said I wasn't gonna do that as much. I got one more. I got one more.
They do it to themselves, to be fair.
They do. I need a name. I need a name for
Maxine this. Shaw.
Maxine Shaw. All right.
We're staying in the theme.
Maxine Shaw wrote, I was dating this guy probably like 3 months. I was not his girlfriend at all, so you would think he didn't have a reason to lie. Wrong. When I first went to his apartment, it was like 2 pairs of female sneakers, and there was a duffel that obviously belonged to a female, but he did say that his sister was staying with him, so I didn't think nothing of it, but I went back after that. Fast forward like 2 months, I want to say it's Valentine's Day, but it could have been my birthday. He's like, I got you something. I'm like, oh, that's nice. He pulls out these sneakers, no box, no nothing. And then I realized,
no.
These were a pair of sneakers that I had seen at his house. I'm not making this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So in the midst of me cursing him out, because I'm like, why would you try to give me your sister's shit? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
He's like, my sister, these ain't my sisters.
Oh,
the ninja had forgot the lie he spun months back. He's like, these was my ex stuff, y'all, the same size, and she only wore them like once. Then he begins to, I guess, say more stuff that he intended to give me out of his bag, but I recognized it from the duffel. He's like, I wasn't going to let her keep it. I spent good money on this stuff. And then I got enraged because this ninja must have been the R word that we are not going to say on this podcast. We'll say he was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Out of his mind. Mm-hmm. And then it gets worse. And then
why
the girl, I'm assuming who was originally intended to receive these items, found me on Instagram and sent me a message and was like, if he gave you anything that belonged to me, I want it back. The end. Whitney.
When I say y'all do it to yourselves, I literally said that right before. You see how the Holy Spirit will just intervene and just let you know what you're getting into before you get into it. When I say y'all do it to yourselves, this story didn't have to exist or happen.
It didn't.
Y'all do this.
I think you would have lost me at the woman's shoes in the duffel bag at your place. Sister or not. I think that would have been my exit. But, one thing I will say about my heterosexual cisgendered sistren is that y'all will give the benefit of the doubt a whole lot faster than I think the rest of the world. The audacity that you have to dig deep inside of yourself to give another bitch gifts.
See, this is how that whole Chloe. No, that wasn't Chloe. That was Hallie. That was Hallie, right?
Take them back. Taking them back. You take the gifts back and then give them to another woman who's seen you with these gifts already. Giving me another woman's shoes. What is that? What is the saying? Is bad luck to wear a dead man's shoes? Don't give me your dead relationship. It's a war saying.
Oh.
Part of my old people speak, but yeah, it's bad luck to wear dead man's shoes.
No, Marita.
It's worse.
She's rubbing her face, you guys.
I'm rubbing my face because it's got to be worse luck to give me your ex bitch's shoes. It has to be. Why would you give me shoes that used to be on your ex's feet? What kind of dumb ass?
I can't even properly talk about. I can't even properly talk about it because it's so stupid. This is really chief stupid. This is pinnacle level stupid. This is.
And you know what? In this circumstance, I would have preferred that he died with the lie. You gotta just die with the lie. Because he admitted, yeah, I gave this bitch this stuff, but she didn't deserve it. And that's why I'm giving it to you.
All right. Auntie Whitney's corner. Auntie Whitney's corner.
Go off.
Maxine Shaw. What he's basically saying is you are the replacement battery to what he was being charged with before. Let me show you how. So he had this woman, and apparently he purchased these items, and apparently he thought because he could purchase these items that they were owned by him. They were not owned by him, because when you give a gift to somebody, it belongs to them.
It does.
By taking these items back, like my eloquent co-host so easily encapsulated, he is essentially stealing.
Yeah.
Stealing from this woman. And then he is merely handing you the things that he already purchased with intent for someone else, right, with the idea of someone else, with the likes and the consideration for someone else to you. He is calling you in, essentially, by giving you these things that he purchased for someone else, the replacement for this person, that you are supposed to just fill in the gaps that they left. And that is not fair, and that is not called for any new relationship following an old relationship. And I told you gifts was my thing, and I'm always looking at the sentiment and the deeper meaning of
there
gifts.
Is no sentiment behind these gifts.
There's no sentiment. Kindness. He does not care. He was trying to find someone else to wear this shit that he bought, that he stole from this other woman. I hope you called the good sis back and said, I'll meet you at the mall. I'll meet you at the Target. I'll meet you at the Starbucks.
Better human being than I'll ever be, because I'm not meeting this bitch nowhere.
No, I would give her back to her, and I'd take a picture and I'd send it to him.
I'm setting him on fire. I'm setting the shoes, the duffel.
No, girl.
Everything is on. I am Angela Bassett waiting to exhale immediately.
To be fair, Angela Bassett did the thing, but also
immediately.
But also, no, I like, my beef is not with her. And this, like, I empathize with her. I'm like, she probably really liked this stuff, and he stole it from her. I'm giving it back to her, and I'm sending him a picture of us together having fucking Starbucks.
Now I gotta date this girl, because
now I gotta date her. Now I gotta date her.
Now I gotta treat her better.
Now you got to look on my Instagram and see us hugged up in our mini dresses,
right?
Looking cute, having sleepovers with the teddy bear that you bought her,
having the best time of our lives,
going on trips and shit, because now we're friends. Congratulations.
Every
I don't have anything else to add.
Every week I wake up and I say, I am not going to be mean to men. And every week men wake up and go,
I'm gonna do something stupid.
We will not allow it. We won't allow it.
We won't allow you to not. We won't allow you to be kind to us. We're going to do foolhardy, selfish, inconsiderate, rude, and just
awful things. Terrible things. You told me to remind you of the corny comment, and I know what's coming here. We'll end it on this. Go off. Whitney's Corner, Part 2. I
have a gripe with people who essentially call people corny, unless they are actually like corny people.
So like Academics. DJ Academics is the corniest cornball that ever cornballed. But 100%. I won't interrupt anymore.
I agree with that, and I'm with you. Michael B. Jordan, who wasn't he in The Wire?
He was.
One of the best television
series. That was Wallace. The best television series.
Broke our heart by dying.
Yes, he got shot.
A terrible death. And so he's making his dream come true. Meanwhile, the good sis that was interviewing him for what outlet?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Good job, Whitney. Good job.
Exactly and precisely. And had the audacity to say, we go way back. Yeah, you fucking bully. I'm glad you remembered. And for anyone who was jumping on Michael B. Jordan, huge middle finger. Because think about it. You're still mad at the the girl in third grade who said you had a pizza face. You're still mad at the kid in high school who, I don't know, gave you a wedgie or a wet willy, whatever.
The girl who wouldn't go on prom with you. The guy who didn't call you back.
There are Negroes on the internet right now who have just thrown out the entire group of Black women because that one Black girl
hurt your feelings in 7th grade.
ONE. Uno. Just one of them. Thrown out the entire group because that one Black girl. So he handled it with so much grace and so much dignity. And he dropped the little comment. You could see he's visibly uncomfortable, but he was a consummate professional. So if anyone has anything, and I'm not a Michael B. Jordan stan, like, yes, he's very pretty to look at, but he's also like, I don't know. I feel like I would invite him over to like, like play Taboo or like I don't feel there's no fire. Now that Jonathan Majors, we'll talk about it another time. But
this crush you got on Jonathan Majors seems to be growing.
It's gotten worse.
Week out.
It's gotten worse. Every time he opens up his mouth, it's just like wisdom. I was like, what time frame did they pull your civil rights self from and bring you up to now? The man doesn't have social media. The man just lives his life and he's wise and he's like a sage. And I just want to I want to make him a plate of food.
I'm sure
I want to make him a plate of food while I wear my robe.
Oh, it's getting spicy.
No, I have clothes underneath. I'm a lady. I have clothes underneath, but I want to make him food. I want to bake him a pie and take it to his house.
Oh, I bet you do.
I want to make sure that, if he's not feeling well, I'm gonna leave a few medicines and like some nice things outside of his house and then like wave as I leave. I want to ensure, I hope he's having a good day every day.
I have just become acutely aware of the fact that there is no way that Earl listens to this podcast. No way.
Even if that Negro does, guess what? You should have been nice to me about my flowers. It was a considerate thing that I brought, and it was supposed to be me and Emmy giving you your flowers. You jerk. Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we always want to hear from you on the Problematic Podcast. So, if you have a problematic story or a problematic question, please reach out to us at theproblematicpod@gmail.com. We always want to hear from you. And now you can text us at 215-486-1683. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next week on the Problematic Pod.